So the people that are out there that are struggling, and maybe some of you are relating to this, you're like, dang it, Tanya, like, I don't really want to know that I'm the one that needs to shift that. Like, it's so much better to just blame people. But I'm just going to be honest with you. If you tune in and do your work, if you come and you start putting yourself around mentors that you see living a life that you would like to live like, put your energy around those people. Ask them questions, work with them, and watch how your life is going to change. If you want to keep it exactly like it is and you want to keep suffering and struggling, keep hanging out with a bunch of drunk people and a bunch of people who are getting high and that are, numbing out. And I'm not judging it, because it's really your life, it's your creation. But where you're putting your focus is what you're creating. The energies, the people you hang out with every day, it's affecting you vibrationally. So be really mindful. Like, what is it you want to create? If you're ready to create a more healthy, peaceful life, you might need to leave the club. Just, maybe go there occasionally, but really look at the balance of where you're putting your time, your energy, your money, your focus, and shift it to where you want to go. And if you can hold that focal point long enough, you're going to manifest it. And this is why it's powerful to work with a soul coach or an intuitive healer like myself, because we're going to help you. I have clients who I've worked with for over a year, and I see them once a week. And their lives have shifted in amazing, profound ways, because they come and they're excited to work with me. They're like, Tanya, I feel excited. I feel inspired. I feel pumped up when I'm around you. And it's like I get ammunition for the rest of my week, because they go out into their week with awareness, with understanding and wisdom. And then they come back and they share what they're learning, and we bounce things off of each other. So those clients have amazing transformation. And then I have clients that I'll see once every maybe year, maybe once every 6 months. And they have transformation, but it seems slower. They seem to come and take a drink of the spiritual, the elixir of life. And then they go right back to that land of lack. And then they come and they want to drink. And they say, oh, it feels so good to be in your energy, Tanya. It feels so good to be in this space. But then they go right back to the lack and the limitation. So I don't really judge any of it. It's just observation, and it is what it is. But I do know that I'm here to help with an amazing global shift in consciousness. And that's going to start by when I'm working with these one-on-one clients to this show where I'm speaking to each of you. It is going to make a difference when each of you take your own power back, when you each are accountable for your own actions, your own thoughts, your own energy, your own vibration, and you start to really care about that. When you really start to care about your peace and your health and your spiritual alignment, then everything is going to work out for you. Everything's going to shift in amazing ways when you find your alignment. But as long as you keep focused on the lack and the fear and the problems and the stress, that's what you're going to get. It's just, that is the law of attraction. What you focus on, you draw to you. So anyway, any other questions?
Yeah, we have, actually, there are two of them. First of all, Tom is saying again, if I call something in, is it possible for something else to be the result?
Oh, yeah.
How would I know that result?
Okay, so what I'm feeling like he's saying is, if you say you want to manifest something, and then you do manifest something, but it comes in a form you weren't expecting.
He wants a Porsche 911 and he's getting a Ford Escort.
Okay.
Rolls Royce.
So sometimes this is where it's good to just keep the focus, and also to really tune into your own true desires, because if you truly desire something and you hold that focus and you've cleared the unconscious part of yourself that keeps sabotaging, then it's going to come in. However, be open to the universe and how it will deliver. I'll give you a good example of this. I've had clients that will say, I want extra financial abundance. I want extra wealth. And then they will say, but, I'm going to have to work. I'm going to pick on my beloved because I adore him, but he says this a lot. So he'll say, there's overtime and I'm gonna have to work more overtime. And I'm like, baby, that's great. And I'm grateful that there's overtime for you. But if you're tired, just thank the universe for bringing in extra abundance in magical ways, like to surprise and delight you. And he'll just look at me kind of like, what the hell are you talking about? Because in his mind, he really feels that his job, his main place of employment, is the only way that financial abundance will really come. And I feel like that's changing in him. I feel like he's really shifted that a lot because I keep kind of nudging him to just be more open. And life does take care of us. Like abundance will come in magical ways. But that's an example. If you really feel that your good can only come from one source, then that's going to limit the way the universe can deliver to you. So if you are, let's say you're a married woman and you really want to have extra financial abundance and you have a husband that's very controlling with money and that is your situation and you don't ever feel like you have any money. And even though it's coming in, it's not yours. And so you think your only good comes from your husband. You don't have a job. You don't have any other ways that financial abundance can come to you. And so then you start to suffer because you feel like the world doesn't give to you. There's not enough. That's not true. It's actually true that there's plenty of abundance. This is an infinite abundant universe, and there's amazing infinite possibilities. But if you could open the moonroof of your mind to believe that your goodness you desire can come to you, then it will come to you. If you, let's say, when I moved into this house, I moved in, and there's blue carpeting everywhere, and I was just like, wow, it's kind of dated. And I can visualize in this room, it's going to be a yoga studio, and wood floors are going to be here. I just see it, and I didn't worry about it. I just was like, angels, thanks for bringing some wood floors. That's going to be awesome for my yoga studio. And then just, a few weeks passed and I just felt like I'm just going to drop it to my landlord and be like, hey, Chris, what would you think of getting some wood floors? If we were to get someone to help us do the work, would you get the wood floors for us? And he thought about it, and a couple weeks later, I come home, and there's a stack of boxes in my garage of wood flooring. And then we had a friend of the family, Haney. He came along, and he totally put most of the floors in, and then taught my beloved how to finish the job. So I literally just focused on the wood floors. I did help pull a few staples out of the floor and kind of clean up some of the scraps, but otherwise, I did none of the work. And I had gratitude, and, I brought treats for the people that were helping and had so much gratitude. But the reason I say that is that I just saw wood floors. I visualized them, and then I thanked the universe. I got an intuition to just ask about it and mention it. I did. I visualized it working out, and it did work out. And then someone came along that was good at this stuff and put them in for us just for some beers and lunch. And basically, my wood floors came to me. So that's an example of how you could want something and you don't need to really be in charge of how it's going to come. Just put it out to the universe that you're ready for it and let it come in. If you want love and affection and your husband gives you none, it may challenge you that it's time to let go of that person or that situation because you're going to stay suffering and miserable if you stay attached somewhere where it is not bringing you what you desire. This is what will probably cause a lot of you to sabotage your own success because you want things and then you become afraid of what you may lose if you were to go for the things you really want. Sometimes we have to let go of things. We have to shake the Etch-a-Sketch to empty to where we can recreate a new picture. So sometimes we want a new dream job. We are going to have to leave that job we hate so that we can have room to align with that job that we love. And a lot of you stay stuck for too long. You stay in the jobs you hate because you're waiting for some miracle to come along that will just, magically take you to the new job. But sometimes there is that period where you need to walk away from something to create space for the new dream to come to you. So there's a lot of factors, and I would say the most important aspect of manifestation is to really know thyself, to understand your clarity of intention, and to keep your focus. And as you do, you're going to have the intuitions. Another aspect of creation that I want to chat with you about is inspired, inspired action. So when we want something, like for instance, if I wanted to do this show and I got an idea of what to talk about in the show, but then I was like, maybe I'll do that later. And I just wait, weeks go by, and I don't talk about what that inspired feeling that came over me. Then I miss that opportunity. And it may come again or it may not. But it's important that as we get the inspiration and it strikes us, that we go for it, that we actually take steps to put that into action right away. And this is that part of a lot of people where they have a fear of success or a fear of failure. Some of you are afraid of trying because what if you mess up? And that's from your inner child. That's from that child that dropped the eggs coming in from the grocery store and mom freaked out, and then you're like, oh God, I can't do anything right. I'm a failure. And it seems subtle, but internally, vibrationally, you keep playing that game and you keep playing that record in your mind. So that's the unconscious part you need to clear, and you need to realize that as you go and try things, you're going to learn and you're going to grow and you're going to evolve. And that feels amazing. Like if I was waiting and this show opportunity came along and I was like, well, I don't know if I'm good enough yet. I don't know. Like, what if people don't like me? And I could have done that and I could have pushed it away. No, I'm not ready. Like, give me 6 more months. And maybe the opportunity would come back in 6 months, or maybe it wouldn't. But what I've learned to do is not be afraid and just go, whoa, I was just telling the universe that I wanted my own show and that I would like to reach millions of people and help them. And this freaking opportunity just came along. Can you believe that? And I say, heck yes. And I reeled that sucker in. And then as I'm going on my walk yesterday, I get the inspiration of exactly what I meant to talk about today. And so it's just learning to live in the now, to really be present and really trust that whatever you need is going to come in, and just trust your intuition, trust that time when inspiration strikes, go in the direction of what it's telling you to do. Take action right away. If you're feeling like, I really want to work with Tanya, I want to figure out what all is going on in me and I'm ready to change my life, don't go and just ignore this and then, oh, I'll talk to her in 6 months, maybe in a year, because that's exactly the sabotage that you do. So we got to stop doing that. If you're feeling inspired to write a book, get in there and start writing some pages on that book today and watch how that turns into a book one day. So really take the action and trust in your abilities and work with a coach or someone that can help you clear that unconscious stuff that is really sabotaging you. It's really important. Really? All right. Any other questions? Hey, it's 444. I saw that last week. Same thing. So funny. Anyway, any other questions?
Gabby in Texas.
Gabby, my old friend from Texas. Awesome.
What would you recommend when you feel like you are ready to shift and keep calling it, but your significant other is not synced into the same positive phase?
All righty. So that's exactly what I was talking about. We cannot be in charge of other people's vibration. We are only in charge of our own. So what can be a tricky thing is when we're with a partner, it could be a best friend, a lover, and we're really excited and they're just kind of a downer. Like they're just like, oh, there's not enough, and they talk about all the time. I lived this, so I'll say, I was in a marriage where I heard there's not enough all the time, and it started to really piss me off. After a while, I was just like, enough already. Like, it is an infinite universe. Like, let's just stop talking about the lack, for God's sakes. And when you're around that energy, it will wear you out. If you're not really aware, it will start to subtly come in like a record in your own mind. So it's really important that you can challenge the love in your life or your best friend and go, hey, I love you. And let me just point out something. Are you open to hearing? Okay, so when I'm talking about how excited I am for our future and you're telling me that there's not enough, do you understand how frustrating that is? And do you understand the laws of attraction? Do you understand how that is vibrationally sabotaging the goals? And are you willing to work on that? So, for example, with Gabby, she might encourage her beloved to watch this video later and just say, I really love what Tanya's saying about this, and I really feel like I'm ready to manifest some goals of mine. And would you be
Good.
willing to watch this show with me? And what do you think about that? And you can tune